There's a kind of man you rarely hear about. The one who doesn't argue, doesn't beg, doesn't chase, and doesn't need to be right. Not because he's passive or weak, but because he's mastered restraint. He knows when to walk, and more importantly, he knows when walking away is the highest form of control. That man doesn't flinch when she tests him, when someone disrespects him, when a job, a friend, or a situation begins to pull him out of his values. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't perform. He doesn't break down trying to hold together what was never meant to last. He simply leaves, not out of ego, but out of principle. And in that silence, in that moment of clean, emotionless detachment, he wins. Not over the other person, but over himself. Type leave in the comments if you've ever walked away while your whole body wanted to stay. Because that's the test. That's the fire. Knowing you could fight, knowing you could explain, convince, or hold on, then choosing to leave anyway. Choosing stillness. Choosing to protect your peace instead of proving your worth. Choosing the long path of discipline over the quick hit of emotional chaos. The modern world calls that weakness. But Stoic men know restraint is mastery. The loudest man in the room is rarely the most grounded. The one who leaves first doesn't lose the argument. He reclaims his time, his power, his clarity. He chooses not to let external chaos override internal order. And that order, that's everything. It's the standard you live by when no one's watching. It's the peace you protect, even when it costs you something you thought you needed. That's why walking away is so difficult, because it feels like giving up. But it's not. It's choosing legacy over ego. It's choosing self-respect over short-term emotion. And when you do that consistently, you become dangerous. Because people begin to realize you cannot be baited. You cannot be guilted. You cannot be manipulated through fear of loss. You've seen the inside of silence, and you're not afraid of it. You've learned how to walk alone. And once you know how to walk alone, no one can use connection as leverage against you again. You no longer need the room to clap. You no longer need the girl to chase. You no longer need the crowd to agree. Because you've mastered something they haven't. Exit. Calm, clean exit. The ability to leave the situation, the conversation, the relationship, when it no longer aligns with your frame. That's masculine order. That's inner command. And you don't need to announce it. You don't need to explain it. You just need to live it. Quietly, fully, without looking back. So stop holding on out of fear. Stop debating people who have no business sharing your energy. Stop fighting for approval in places that reward chaos over clarity. Leave and build. Leave and forge yourself in the solitude you were avoiding. Because that's solitude. That's where you become unshakable. That's where your vision sharpens, your breath deepens, your routine stabilizes. That's where you remember who you are. Not through noise, but through discipline, through movement, through silence. The man who walks away first is not running. He's rising. If you're serious about building something real, something no one can take from you, type forge in the comments right now. And if you're ready to keep walking the real path, the hard one, the good one, make sure you subscribe.